What's up, buddy? So today we're looking at Medieval and which settings looks the best for this game in DuckStation. So let's start with the default settings, which is native resolution. So the internal resolution is 1x, dithering is turned off or is set to true color, and the scaling here is bilinear smooth. And yeah, I would say this looks pretty okay. It's fairly faithful to how it looks on original hardware here, and yeah, not too bad as a default setting. Let's also try to change, instead of bilinear smooth, let's change that one to nearest neighbor. There we go. And yeah, that makes all the pixels quite sharp, and it is looks a bit more pixelated here. For this one, I think I prefer the bilinear smooth here. I think that one looks a little bit better. But let's change the internal resolution to 4K here. Here we go. We get a nice and crispy everything here. And given that this is a somewhat cartoony graphics here, I think it still works alright. I'm usually not the biggest fan of just going with a very good internal resolution. All the defects kind of becomes a lot more noticeable here, but given that this still have a fairly cartoony graphics, I think it still works alright here. As for the geometry or the 3D graphics, it kind of bubbles around a little bit here, but DuckStation does support geometry correction here, so let's turn that one on. There we go. And yeah, that definitely makes things a little bit better. It looks pretty nice actually. Yeah, definitely improved things there. So let's see if our camera can't get stuck on everything. This game is very good at that. But yeah, let's also try downsampling here. So the internal resolution is still 4K, but that one is then downsampled back to native resolution. There we go. And yeah, I would say this looks also pretty good here. Everything looks a little bit smoother when we do this compared to just regular native resolution here. So I think I prefer this one over just native resolution. Let's also try the scaling with the sharp pixels. There we go, nearest neighbor. And again there, I think it works a little bit better with bilinear smooth here. There we go. And yeah, I think this one works a little bit better here. This might also be a little bit too blurry on the other hand. And we can get somewhat in between that is a little bit less blurry. One way to do that would be if we turn off the downsampling and also change the internal resolution to 2x instead of 4K here. Now we have a little bit in between, but to keep or get some more details out of our 3D models, we can go into advanced and turn on multisampling here. So let's see here, the one I think works the best is this one, 8xSSAA. There we go. And here we still have pretty good detail, but things are also slightly blurry here. So I think everything blends in a little bit better compared to if we just go with 4K here. So yeah, I think this is my favorite ones of these ones. Another thing is also dithering. Some PlayStation 1 games have a ton of it, but let's try to turn that thing on. There we go, here we have unscaled. And for this one it's not a gigantic difference, but it's definitely noticeable. That would depend a bit on the location here. Not all locations have as much dithering. Here we can see a bit more of that pattern here. We also can see it on on our little body here. And yeah, I would say this also helps a little bit to make things blend in a bit better. So yeah, I kinda like it, but yeah, this dither pattern is not for everybody, but let's also try to turn it off again. There we go. Yeah, it's quite the difference, but for me I would keep that on there. Another thing is also widescreen. This game does support this thing here, or the game doesn't natively support it, but we do have in DuckStation widescreen rendering here. So let's try that. Alright, well, here we go. This is 16:9 aspect ratio here, and yeah, I would say it works pretty good here. But we can see on the edge of the screen here how it kind of builds up the world here, so it's definitely not perfect. And this is also only the start of the game here, so there might be other parts of the game where widescreen support works less ideal. That's always the case with games that not made for widescreen. But yeah, I would say looks pretty good, and I guess this will be it for this video here. What do you think works best for this game? And you all stay awesome, and I see you in the next one. Bye bye.